Today we're going to be looking at 10 pass catchers that you can snag for cheap. You can get them cheap in your drafts. Some of these guys will be on waivers, but you need to know who these players are for when they start to pop off during the season. The last player we're talking about today, there's an important tidbit about him, some important information that recently came out from his last preseason game that we're going to talk about, so you're going to need to watch until the end. But before we dig into these 10 pass catchers, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give it a click with the mouse, tap with the finger on your phone. Stop missing out on this content because I'm going to help you with the waiver wire, help you win your league, help you with your drafts, help you in Dynasty. It's all going to be here. Hit that button and stop missing out. But let's look at these 10 pass catchers, these 10 wide receivers here. First one we're looking at today is Zay Flowers, wide receiver 40 in ADP. Per Underdog Fantasy, per Best Ball ADP, which has been running hot and heavy these last few months. Zay Flowers has been balling out in preseason. He's been balling out in training camp. Looks damn near uncoverable out there. Looked good in college too. 13 average depth of target out there for his career. His best season was at 15, so he's going to get deep targets. They scouted him knowing that, hey, this is a wide receiver that we can get deep. That's something we've been wanting, a guy that can take the top off the defense, which means when the game script is going nuclear, it's a high-paced, high-scoring game. They're chucking it deep. Lamar Jackson's looking to do the deep ball. Zay Flowers might come down with a few. There's a potential that he has some pop-off games. With an ADOT like that, that's a huge indicator. Plus, he's a first-round pick. He's also a nuanced route runner, so he can also create separation, breaking off routes, intermediate, short distance. It doesn't even matter. Deep balls, he's going to be able to be used in this offensive game plan. They're going to have a lot of fun moving him around the offense, getting him downfield, have him run the short stuff because he can do it all. He can be very effective. This offense can be wonky at times. Really want to stress that. Mark Andrews on any given week can take up to 20 to 40% of the targets. And then also Lamar Jackson just slowing it down in the passing game. Todd Monken's there. We should see an increased rate of plays ran, which could impact the passing game. Could impact as in more passing plays ran. But honestly, from game to game, this game script for this team could be different because some games they're airing it out. Some games it's all going to Mark Andrews, and other games they're running it a lot. That's just how this team is ran. But if you're looking for top-end weeks and you're looking for a rookie wide receiver that could go off, Zay Flowers is a guy to look at. Next, Quentin Johnston, wide receiver 41 ADP, who's going right after him in most drafts. But if you want him instead, go ahead. These are not players I'm telling you to get, but suggestions. So if you like one better than the other, go get them. If someone else you like, go get them. It's your team. But again, this is a player that gets downfield. 15.6 average depth of target in college. We're seeing the clips from training camp. He's getting targeted downfield as well. He's got some competition there with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. That's going to be there. But also with this competition, they're not known to finish a year with a clean bill of health recently. So odds are he's going to get his opportunity sooner than later. Justin Herbert's there. He's healthy. He's going to be wheeling and dealing. Honestly, Herbert in fantasy, he's a discount as well for the upside, for the game scripts he's going to be in, for the production. He's a first-round wide receiver. Quentin Johnston is. He's got a lot of upside. He's in the best situation for him. If he doesn't hit with the Chargers, he wouldn't hit anywhere in the NFL. There's a lot of upside with this team. Accurate, deep targets going his way. Once he starts getting asserted in the offense, we should see some production. You might have to wait a bit. That's the downside. But there's talent here. And he's a little bit cheaper than some of the other first-round wide receivers. And if you want some of these first-round wide receivers in this year's draft, he's a cheaper price tag by a little bit. Next, we're looking at Courtland Sutton, wide receiver 44 in ADP. Jerry Jeudy just got hurt. He's going to be out for a little bit. We really don't know how long, day to day, week to week. Usually when they talk about those time frames, it's a little bit longer than what they say. And if they come back one time, they usually come back a little bit nicked up. Russell Wilson did not look good last year, but things might change because they invested more in the offensive line. He might have more time to throw. Also, Sutton, 11th in the league in deep targets. And prior to that last year, air yards guy. Guy getting deep downfield. He's known for that. That's where he excels at. That means we could get some blow-off top games, and that's what we want in this part of the draft because consistency has already been drafted. Now we need the top end weeks, and we need to hope we hit on that. 28% share of the air yards last year and a 23% target share. Enough volume going around. Judy's going to start the year hobbled up. So really got to see what's going on with Sutton, but averaging 89 air yards a game, that could be increased to around 100 with Judy out too. And this offensive line giving them more time to throw the football. Russ Wilson could cook this year. Maybe, maybe not, but Sean Payton's also there. Sutton, we know, is a downfield threat, downfield guy to make plays. Also, the downside on him is the injury history. We don't know if we'll get a full season out of Sutton. That's why we like Marvin Mims. That's why we've been talking about him. We got a video on Marvin Mims. Go check that out. But Courtland Sutton does have some goods in this game that can allow you to get some production in the middle to late part of your draft. Next, Skyy Moore, wide receiver 45 in ADP. As you notice, I'm just going straight down ADP with the wide receivers I see and like. But again, Juju's gone. He's going to take that role in the slots. That means Juju's targets are probably going to go to Moore. He's going to look at something like that. He has some athleticism there where he can really get you yards after the catch. Very sound route runner. Didn't do much as a rookie, but remember, he's a G5 prospect. Group of 5 school from a smaller program there from Western Michigan. So give him a little bit more time to develop. Also, historically, we've seen wide receivers come to this offense and not click instantly. So usually, or what we're seeing is that these wide receivers need some time to ramp up, get in the system. Plus Patrick Mahomes, he's so good, he can just throw it wherever, and these wide receivers will click. So as long as Skyy Moore is on the field running routes, he should be targeted. And plus, he's been looking good in training camp. We've covered the clips for the last month or so. Check those out in the archives. I got plenty of Skyy Moore clips, plenty of Justin Ross clips. I got plenty of clips on these wide receivers. We got a lot of good young wide receivers on this offense that are ready to pop off, and they may pop off and on and shoot off like fireworks and take their turns. It could be like Patrick Mahomes is the Bill Belichick of quarterbacks. You don't know which running back's going to start. You don't know which wide receiver you want to start, but I'm telling you this right now, Skyy Moore is going to be in the slot. He's going to be getting slot targets. He's going to be getting opportunity. He's going to get you yards after the catch. He's got some athleticism. He's nuanced. He was productive coming out of college. There's a lot of good things to look at here, and he's been looking good. And if you want to pivot from him and you want somebody really cheap and you're in a deep league, Richie James is another guy to look at because he's also been looking good. Next, Rashod Bateman, wide receiver 47. A lot of people don't like Rashod Bateman, and I understand. I loved him coming out of college. A big get out of Minnesota. First-round draft pick, early breakout age coming out of college because he was productive at a young age. Wide receiver 47 ADP is what we like here. If he was wide receiver 25, wide receiver 30, we'd be very scared. But he's getting cheaper. He's dropping in ADP a little bit by the day, and the discount's getting better. And he's coming back from a Liz Frank. We're expecting a slow start, but that might not happen. We've talked about this offense with Zay Flowers a few minutes ago. It's a little wonky. But when he's on the field with Lamar Jackson, which hasn't been too much recently during the course of his career, he's averaged 1.95 yards per route ran, and that would rank 26th among wide receivers. That means he is efficient on the field, which he is. We saw this at Minnesota. We saw this in spurts in his pro career. But the thing about this, we need to see him healthy on the field for a long spurt of time to really get an assessment. He's a mystery box right now. And when I want to draft mystery boxes is when they're valued at wide receiver 50 in drafts. There's no loss if he busts on you. He can't bust on you because he's so cheap. If he does, you just go to the waiver wire and it is what it is. But wide receiver 47 ADP, I'm buying that all day long. I'd be scared of wide receiver 30, wide receiver 47 at this offense, at this price tag, at this talents level. You can't go wrong with that. Next, Nico Collins, wide receiver 55 at ADP. He's getting a little bit cheaper. And the thing about this is CJ Stroud's been looking scary in preseason. Been looking very scary. The thing about this may play into Nico Collins' volume, his production, because this may get them into shootouts and they may go YOLO at the end of games and let CJ Stroud figure it out in the third and fourth quarter at some moments. So that's something you want to pay attention to, but he's so cheap. He's in double-digit rounds. Not just double-digit rounds, but deep double-digit rounds right now. And he's getting a 20% target share, 30% share of the air yards. He's got a connection with Stroud. We're seeing that in training camp because we went over the clips. And when he's connecting with Stroud, it's on deep balls, which means there's volatility here that could spike for us, which means you may love him more in DFS. He might be a guy that wins somebody $1 million this year in DFS. He'll get some deep balls. He may connect on a few. You may not know when to start him. But at wide receiver 55, if you're looking for late round wide receivers, which I'm not really because I'm drafting running backs there, you can't really go too wrong with Collins because you're getting a wide receiver who's going to be on the field, getting about 20% target share, and deep balls coming his way. It just has to be accurate. They have to be consistent. They have to be catchable. But we have to see when that happens. But the workload's going to be there at that price tag. You want that. Next, Zay Jones, wide receiver 58, and he's going to be on the field. He's going to have the opportunity, and he's on the Jaguars offense. We want Trevor Lawrence. We want players on this team. Calvin Ridley's there, and he's going to soak up targets, and we all know that. That is going to happen. That is a true thing. And his price tag is crazy right now. Second-round draft pick at per ADP on Underdog. Maybe third-round draft pick in basic redraft, maybe fourth. But second-round Underdog, he's hit that mark in ADP. Zay Jones, though, he's going to be on the field. He's going to be on the outside. Christian Kirk's going to be in the slot in wide receiver 3 sets. The thing about this is his price tag's so cheap. The offense is so good. It's so potent. He's wide receiver 31 in points per game last year. That might decrease a bit because of Calvin Ridley, but could stay the same because this offense is potent and he's on the field. Good wide receiver for the price tag here. And I want the Jaguars. I want to invest in this team. 12th in red zone targets, 17th in receptions. He can be productive. He's got a rapport with Trevor Lawrence. He's got a history there. You know what? Zay Jones is the guy I want to go after. Next, Jayden Reed, wide receiver 73. We're going super deep here. May go undrafted in your league, maybe not. Really depends on who you're drafting with. But if you're looking for a rookie with tons of upside, who's going very late in your draft, who's very cheap, and you want to shoot your shot on somebody, this is the guy you want to do it with. 239 vacated targets in this offense. He's going to be starting in the slot. He's going to be getting some opportunity here. I look for the offense to slow down a bit with Aaron Rodgers gone, but Jordan Love looks like he might exceed expectations a bit. To what degree, we don't know because we want to see him under live pressure. But Jayden Reed broke out with 2 different collegiate programs. Western Michigan and Michigan State instantly broke out. Age 18 breakout age, and then did it again at Michigan State. Very productive, very nuanced, can get downfield, good ball skills. Everything you really want in a wide receiver when you draft him. The Packers drafted him in the 2nd round. After drafting wide receivers last year, he played well. And they said, hey, what? We still need this Jayden Reed guy. A lot of people like this guy from the film community. And I've watched him on film. I watched him on tape. We've covered him all off season long. He looks good. He looks good in training camp. He's been looking good in preseason. He's got a role in the offense. And what if he is the favorite target? What if he's the volume guy? What if it's starting to look like that? This guy can do that. This guy's a very good wide receiver. Wide receiver 73 in ADP, already getting starter snaps. Looks good. A guy that you can catch for cheap. He might be even on your waiver wire. He's glowing there. Look at him. And now we're looking at DeVante Parker. Wide receiver 82 in ADP. Thing about that, he's free. He's probably on your waiver wire. The thing about this guy is he gets deep downfield. 11.5 yards per target, a 15.5 ADOT. Those are tops in the league here. 2.19 fantasy points per target. Has been dealt with injuries lately. Hasn't been on the field as much, but played through them too. It slowed down his impact, and then got offered a 3-year, $33 million deal. So that means the Patriots like what they see and they want to use him. But from what we like to see, here's the workload metrics and the price tag. The price tag is free at 82. Wide receiver 82, you draft him, he doesn't do anything. There's no wrong with that. You're drafting him at that price tag, not wide receiver 50 or higher. Wide receiver 82, that's free. You catch him for free, you're getting a wide receiver here that's getting deep targets. That means he's going to turn 1 into something, 2 into something here and there. Might have some blow-off-top games. Look for him in DFS in some moments. When the Patriots are in plus game scripts, when the over-unders are kind of high, look for him because he's going to be cheap and he's getting deep targets. And if he hits on a couple, You're going to get some boom performances. DeVante Parker's a guy you want to look at. And here's the guy we're talking about. And this is why I said pass catchers in the start of the video. Dalton Kincaid, tight end 11. The tidbit I want to say about him, last preseason game, running with the starters. 0 pass blocking snaps. Running routes on every play. Running a lot of routes in the slots. That's a good sign that he's getting opportunity. They want to use him as a wide receiver. They're not allowing him just to ramp up. They're saying, hey, we see your good qualities here. We see you as a good pass-catching tight end. We're going to use you like that, and we're going to allow you to be involved in the offense. Tight end 11 ADP. He's cheap. Double-digit rounds. Invest in this. You want the Bills offense? This is a good way to get a lottery ticket. Tight ends are very volatile as it is. Tight end 11 in ADP isn't much away in scoring-wise from the tight end 8, 4, 5, somewhere around that range, because there's a huge drop-off from the tight end 3 to 5 to the tight end 6 to 8. It's just how it is. And then the difference between the tight end like 8 to 10 isn't much difference from the tight end 25 from week to week. And then there's some weeks where the tight end 8 doesn't even score you double-digit fantasy points. So why not take the gamble here at tight end 11? You love the offense. You love the player. He's getting opportunity. Check it out, see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, there's guys on the waiver wire. But those are 10 pass catchers that we're looking to snag at value here in our fantasy football drafts off the waiver wire. Some guys with upside, some guys that are sleepers, but you need to be in the know about them. Let me know who you're targeting in the comments below. Smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video.